On March 3, 2023, a Minnesota state trooper spotted a stolen Kia SUV speeding along I-94 at around 94 miles per hour. What should have been a routine traffic stop quickly shifted into something far more serious. Within seconds, the driver made a decision, and the chase was on. The Kia accelerated, weaving aggressively through traffic and making sudden lane changes.
Going right to the light, back on 94 northbound. It's going to be black Kia, red plate, Edward, Fair, 93, occupied by 1.
Can I copy?
Speeds on good for light traffic.
Speeds 100 for light traffic. What's the next exit?
The pursuit came to a shocking end near the Highway 49 overpass. The driver lost control, and the Kia plunged off the bridge, crashing onto the roadway below. Despite the violent impact, both suspects climbed out of the wreckage.
We're letting the locals know right now. 656.
Oh, then he crashed. He just dropped down to 94 from the 49th overpass. Start medics.
We've got medics. We'll get somebody down there. Is there a partner close? Occupant's running. Driver's running. Black hoodie, dark jeans, passenger, hand shorts, black hoodie.
They're running. Hey, don't come up on 49th now. Where are they going?
As the chase did not last long, a roadside camera managed to capture the moment it ended in a shocking way near the Highway 49 overpass. The driver lost control, causing the Kia to veer off the bridge and crash. When the vehicle lost control and fell off the bridge, one suspect immediately got out and ran into a nearby alley, while the other remained trapped inside as the car began to smoke and burst into flames.
2 suspects are running over from the southbound side of 94 to 49th, running westbound.
253 Metro, one has a black hoodie, gray sweatpants with the orange line on it, orange shoes, other wearing all black.
10-4. Westminster State Patrol is now patched with LTAC 1 for a foot pursuit, 94 and 49 to Minneapolis. 2 suspects running westbound near 49th Avenue from 94. The driver is the one in all black.
Police quickly set up a perimeter and searched for the 2 suspects in the surrounding area. Both were later apprehended near the scene. Authorities confirmed that the driver was only 14 years old, along with a 15-year-old passenger. What seemed like a simple car theft ended in a crash that could have been fatal, a reminder that reckless decisions, especially at that age, can spiral out of control in seconds, and the consequences come. On April 9, 2026, in Broward County, Florida, a bank robbery and plantation triggered an immediate response from local police and the FBI. A suspect, later identified as 56-year-old Tommy Duane Dennis. Dennis pushed the vehicle through busy intersections, into oncoming traffic, and even through a construction zone. The red Kia Soul weaved dangerously between vehicles, showing no regard for anyone in its path. Multiple units stayed in pursuit as the suspect escalated the situation, turning public roads into a high-risk environment with Officers and FBI agents quickly surrounded the vehicle, ordering the suspect to surrender. After a brief standoff, Dennis complied and was taken into custody without further incident. He was transported to a hospital before being booked into jail. Authorities confirmed no injuries were reported. What started as a bank robbery ended in a crash that could have taken lives, a reminder that every second of running only tightens the outcome. On August 9, 2024, around 3:21 p.m. on US 19 near Republic Drive, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper spotted a silver vehicle driving recklessly, speeding, tailgating, and weaving through traffic. What should have been a routine stop quickly turned into something far more unpredictable.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Off your hands right now! Hands up! No! Hey, take the key out! Take the key out! Hands up! Hands up right now! Hands up! Roll the window down! Roll the window down!
When police signaled for the vehicle to stop, the driver made a dangerous decision to flee. The car quickly exceeded 100 miles per hour, aggressively weaving through lanes and creating a serious risk for everyone on the road. The pursuit grew more intense, as the suspect showed no intention of stopping, even slamming on the brakes at one point, kicking up a cloud of dust before speeding off again. Not long after, officers successfully executed a PIT maneuver, causing the suspect to lose control and crash into a utility pole.
Stop moving! Get your hands off the wheel! Stop pressing the pedal! Don't press the pedal! Don't do anything! Stop! 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 Stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! Hey, I got the taser.
When the suspect crashed into the utility pole, the vehicle spun violently. It came to a stop on the roadside, but the suspect still refused to give up. He opened the door and fled the scene on foot. The chase finally came to an end when the vehicle became stuck on a grassy area near a Burger King. Even then, the situation didn't settle. The driver resisted, attempting to restart the car and escape again. Troopers were forced into a physical struggle, eventually deploying a taser to bring him under control. Once detained, the driver claimed that during the struggle, a bystander had taken money and personal belongings from his bag. At the same time, officers informed him that his license was revoked, though he insisted it had already been reinstated. He now faces multiple charges, including driving with a revoked license and fleeing law enforcement. What started as reckless driving quickly spiraled into a chaotic confrontation, a reminder that every decision to run only complicates the outcome and adds consequences that could have been avoided. On July 10, 2025, in Orlando, Florida, what began as a routine traffic enforcement quickly escalated into a high-speed pursuit. A Florida Highway Patrol trooper identified a vehicle speeding aggressively on the highway, but instead of stopping, the driver made a dangerous choice, and within seconds, the chase was on.
1033 traffic, 1541 westbound, right mile marker 408, 1031 vehicle.
Copy, there's one next coming.
The black Dodge Charger pushed to extreme speeds, reaching up to 135 miles per hour as it tore down I-4. The driver weaved through traffic, cut across lanes, and created near collisions at every turn. At that speed, every second became a life-threatening gamble for the suspect, for officers, and for everyone else on the road. Troopers stayed locked in, waiting for the right moment to end it. That moment came fast. A precise pit maneuver was executed, sending the Charger into a violent spin before it slammed into the concrete barrier. The vehicle came to a stop on the shoulder, but even then, the driver wasn't done. He attempted to flee on foot, sprinting away from the wreck. On July 10, 2025, in Orlando, Florida, what began as a routine traffic enforcement quickly escalated into a high-speed pursuit. A Florida Highway Patrol trooper identified a vehicle speeding aggressively on the highway, but instead of stopping, the driver made a dangerous choice, and within seconds, the chase was on. On November 4th in Florida, what began as a pursuit of a suspected stolen vehicle quickly escalated into one of the most extreme high-speed chases on I-95. Troopers identified a matte green Dodge Challenger Hellcat, but instead of stopping, the driver made a decision that pushed everything to the limit. The Hellcat surged past 160 miles per hour, tearing down the highway with overwhelming speed. The driver weaved through traffic, cut into emergency lanes, and ignored every rule on the road. At that velocity, even the smallest mistake could have turned deadly. Troopers pushed their own vehicles to the edge, staying in pursuit as the situation grew more dangerous with every mile. The The chase finally broke when spike strips were deployed. With the vehicle compromised, the Hellcat slowed and rolled onto the grassy shoulder, coming to a stop. Within seconds, troopers moved in, weapons drawn, locking down the scene. The driver, a young male suspect, was taken into custody without further incident. What started as a stolen vehicle case ended in a high-speed gamble that could have cost lives. A reminder that at 160 miles per hour, control is an illusion, and there's no outrunning the outcome. On May 3, 2019, a stolen pickup truck set off a chain of events that would span 3 counties in Florida. The driver, 22-year-old Travis Lovett, was already wanted, and when deputies attempted to stop him, the situation escalated instantly. Instead of surrendering, he made a far more dangerous choice. Lovett didn't just flee, he turned the chase into a violent encounter. He drove recklessly through neighborhoods and highways, even attempting to strike 2 Citrus County deputies with his truck. Then the situation took an even darker turn. During the pursuit, Lovett fired multiple shots at pursuing Florida Highway Patrol units, 1 round, striking a patrol car's windshield. At that point, this was no longer just a chase, it was a life-threatening confrontation. The pursuit didn't last long, but every second was intense. The suspect nearly lost control multiple times, even striking a road sign, causing the vehicle to sway violently at around 70 miles per hour. Despite the car being almost completely out of control, he showed no hesitation, continuing to accelerate and race through narrow residential streets, ignoring the dangers ahead. With the threat escalating, troopers moved decisively. A tactical maneuver was executed, sending the stolen pickup into a violent rollover. The truck flipped multiple times before finally coming to a stop, ending the pursuit. Lovett was taken into custody and now faces multiple serious charges, including 3 counts of attempted murder of law enforcement officers. What began as a stolen vehicle case quickly escalated into a deadly situation, a reminder that every decision to run can push things beyond control and into consequences that last a lifetime. What started as a police pursuit quickly turned into something far more dangerous. A black Jeep Cherokee was spotted fleeing while already on fire. Flames and smoke trailed behind the vehicle, turning the situation into an immediate threat to everyone on the road. With no time to waste, officers made a decisive move, striking the Jeep and sending it spinning to a stop within seconds. They rushed in, weapons drawn, and quickly took the driver into custody. Moments later, the flames at the rear were extinguished. What began as a pursuit became a race against disaster, a stark reminder that when danger ignites, every second counts, and hesitation is not an option. On January 3, 2024, in Warren, Michigan, what began as a simple traffic stop for an expired license plate quickly turned into something far more serious. Officers pulled over a black Jeep Grand Cherokee, expecting a routine interaction. The driver claimed he was heading home from work, but within moments, everything changed.
The window broke.
Can you put the car in park?
Here's the park.
So the reason I stopped you is because the plate's expired on the car.
Yeah. I'm just coming from work.
Oh yeah? Is this your car?
No, it's my girlfriend. I live down the
Okay.
street.
Do you have your license with you and
No.
registration?
I
Insurance?
don't have my license.
Nothing? All right. Is your girlfriend's car?
Yeah, she down the street. She got her license.
Where at?
Literally, I'm just coming from work.
Where do you work at? Oh,
Literally.
Okay. All right. What I gotta have you do is just hop out for me real quick, man, just because you don't have your license on you.
Officers are conducting an inspection of the suspect who was behind the wheel of a black Jeep Grand Cherokee. When asked to step out of the vehicle due to not having a valid license or documents, the driver suddenly accelerated and fled. The Jeep sped through city streets, cutting across grass areas and weaving through residential complexes in a desperate attempt to escape. Officers stayed in pursuit as the situation escalated, with the driver ignoring traffic signals and putting everyone nearby at risk.
20 short dreads, headed to 10 mile. Black male, only built dreads. Taxi to small cars. There's a block out there. Center line's blocking. It's up in the grass.
The suspect sped through a residential area at over 100 miles per hour, showing no signs of slowing down. As he approached a police blockade ahead, while another officer closely pursued from behind, he ignored all warnings, suddenly swerving off the main road and continuing to flee, pushing the situation to an extreme level of danger.
Alright, west on 10. You're good, clear, sorry. Yep. Coaching Sherwood. Sure. Alright, approaching Ryan. Center lane. Alright, he's slowing for Ryan. It's a red. Oh, 1050 into a box truck. He's underneath the box truck.
The chase reached a tragic end at the intersection of 10 Mile Road and Ryan Road. The Jeep ran a red light and slammed directly into a box truck, becoming wedged underneath it. The impact was devastating and immediate. Emergency responders arrived, but the driver of the Jeep was pronounced dead at the scene. What began as a minor traffic violation ended in a fatal crash, a stark reminder that a single decision to run can turn seconds into consequences that can never be undone. On March 17, 2024, around 3:05 p.m. in Euclid, Ohio, officers identified a stolen white Jeep Compass near E222nd Street and N Lakeland Boulevard. What should have been a recovery quickly escalated because instead of stopping, the driver chose to run. The Jeep tore through residential neighborhoods before merging onto I-90 West at a blistering speed. The driver weaved aggressively through traffic, ignoring all traffic signals and putting everyone around at serious risk. Despite blowing through multiple intersections and stop signs, he showed no hesitation, seemingly focused only on evading the police, with complete disregard for the law. After tearing through the residential area, the suspect sped onto the highway and floored the accelerator, believing he could leave everything behind. But he miscalculated. He was up against officers trained for the most intense pursuits. Whether on foot or behind the wheel, the idea of escape was nothing more than an illusion, because in this chase, the outcome had already been decided.
1050 hardcore, roll over 156 cars on fire, get completed EMS.
Although the officer had a bit of a belly, his training showed he was still running remarkably fast. The suspect's vehicle lost control and slammed into a black sedan that was lawfully traveling. The impact was severe, causing the Jeep to roll multiple times and erupt in thick smoke within seconds. Two suspects fled on foot but were quickly apprehended by officers nearby. Tragically, the driver of the sedan, a 49-year-old man, was pronounced dead at the scene due to severe injuries. What began as a stolen vehicle pursuit ended in irreversible loss, a stark reminder that every second of reckless flight doesn't just risk the driver, it endangers innocent lives, with consequences that cannot be undone. On a summer evening in Bracknell, Ohio, a stolen Kia triggered an alert from a flock camera system. Officers quickly located the vehicle and attempted a traffic stop, what should have been a routine recovery. But the driver refused to stop, and within seconds, the situation escalated into a pursuit.
On North Marginal, John Victor 9949. Vehicle is smoking. Still going westbound on North Marginal. Vehicle is slowing in speed.
74 here, can you see if Metro Park is available?
The Kia sped westbound, already damaged and beginning to smoke after colliding with another vehicle. Despite this, the driver continued to flee, weaving through traffic. In a shocking moment, the suspect leaned out of the car window, seemingly attempting something unknown, pushing the situation to an even more dangerous level. Ignoring all warnings, the suspects turned the roadway into a high-risk escape route.
Pointing on the highway,
The chase ended abruptly at a dead end near the lakeshore. With no escape, the suspects bailed out and scattered some sprinting toward I-90 inches, a desperate bid to flee. Officers quickly captured a 14-year-old near the vehicle as additional units moved in to track the others. Despite the chaos, no serious injuries were reported. What began as a stolen car alert turned into a frantic escape, proof that reckless choices often lead to a dead end.